Look Back, an anime movie that was released on Prime Video after a 2-month exclusive theater run, has been generating a lot of buzz. People are calling it the anime movie of the year and saying that it's the movie that can make you cry. Is Look Back truly worth all the hype, or is it just overrated? Let's find out together, shall we? The original Look Back one-shot was created by Tetsuki Fujimoto, the creator of Chainsaw Man. To be honest, I didn't realize he made this until I noticed the character designs resembled his work in Chainsaw Man and in their one-shots. I noticed it because of the eyes and the messy character outlines. Anyways, the story is about our two protagonists, Fujino and Kimoto. I wonder who these two are supposed to represent. These two aspire to be manga artists and would be for most of their lives. Fujino, at the start, was very egotistical since she was making manga strips in the school newspaper. Everyone was always complimenting whenever she drew her art, so she became pretty popular in her class. After a while, her teacher had her share the paper with another student who wanted to be a mangaka. This student, Kimoto, rarely shows up at school, so no one knows her. As the next issue of the school paper came out, everyone, including Fujino, realized that Kimoto was an outstanding background artist. Fujino would shut herself off, trying to be a better artist, to be as good as Kimoto. But one day her friend would say this:
Aren't you too old to be obsessed with this art stuff? Even when you do hang out, you're just drawing the whole time. If you don't stop, when we get to middle school next year, people will think you're some weird otaku.
This made Fujino crack, choosing to give up on art entirely. Soon, it was graduation, and her teacher had one last request: to go to Kimoto's house and give her a diploma. She'd reluctantly go and see that Kimoto had saved all the drawings that she had thrown away previously, picking up an empty paper and drawing a little comic.
Whoops.
After seeing the comic, Kimoto would run out to catch up to Fujino, admitting that she's always been a fan of her work since she first made comics for the school newspaper. Fujino would initially brush her off, but after a while, the two would work together to make their own one-shot. After a year in the making, they'd submit the one-shot for the Shonen Jump contest and actually get first place, winning 100,000 yen. Life could only go up from here. They could use the money for better supplies, which will lead to better art and more manga created. What could go wrong?
Listen, I want to go to an art college, so I can't help with the manga series.
Pursuing your dream is tough, especially when there's a future right in front of you. But what if that future isn't something you want? That's what happened to Kimoto. She wanted to go refine her art and get better, to be able to work faster and get more done. That's what ultimately split up the two. Time would pass, Fujino working on her story more and more, until one day when she'd hear something on the news.
Vagrant began attacking a number of students with what authorities are calling a pickaxe. There's still no word on number of victims or severity of injuries. The attacker seems to have chosen his targets at random, though police caution that their investigation is still ongoing.
Kimoto was dead, all because one girl drew a comic out of spite, causing Kimoto to leave her room and change her fate. But what if her fate was different? What if Kimoto never left her room on that day? If things went differently, maybe Kimoto would still be alive. If drawing art can't save anyone, then why create? To start off, Look Back has an amazing art style, looking like Fujimoto's art has come straight out of the pages. If this is what the Rize movie is going to look like, then the movie's animation is in excellent hands. The Fujimoto art style mostly brings out the facial expressions of the characters. When Kimoto is happy, you can see that her eyes light up. In contrast, when Fujino is devastated, you can see that her eyes lose their color. I also really love the pastel look of the backgrounds, which blends in well with the characters that are in them. The soundtrack in this movie is also amazing. The songs in the soundtrack can go from a happy and hopeful mood as the two's worlds light up from the chance to show the world their story, to a slightly mournful tone as Fujino recounts her time being with Kimoto before her death, wishing that she would have never drawn the comic that made Kimoto leave her room. When the credits started rolling and the song started playing, my tears wouldn't stop running. The story in this movie is very good. It's a slow plot that picks up around the halfway point, but I was so focused that I didn't even notice how far I was into the movie until the credits were rolling. And I can't imagine how this would feel if I watched this in theaters. The story starts out slow to get you immersed in the feelings of Fujino and Kimoto. Then when the manga hits it off, you feel happy for them as their life can only go from here. Then Kimoto wants to go to art school and you have an uncertain feeling. Something could happen to Kimoto while she's at art school and Fujino wouldn't be there to protect her. Then something happens and you feel the tears form when Fujino blames herself. This movie makes you feel sad and it's pretty good at it. Given all the hype surrounding the movie, I'd say it delivered. The story, characters, soundtrack, style, and animation didn't fail at keeping me engaged the whole time. I highly recommend you to give Look Back a watch for yourself. If you've seen it, tell me what you think about it in the comments below. It'll also be cool if you leave a like and subscribe so you can get more yap sessions from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.